All right, what's up? Right, we're going to be looking at some Gary Frank today, Art for Inspiration. Let's go ahead and check this out. All right, here we go. Um, Super cool book. If you're not familiar with it, I feel like this was what they used for the SHAZAM film. I feel like it was, just from the read of it. I don't know how much of it they pulled from here or not, but yeah, anyways, fun book. Really, really cool artwork by Gary Frank. I wasn't really a huge fan of Gary's work in the 90s. I don't know, something changed with his work. He got a lot more loose. And yeah, now he's the man. Stuff's super fun to look at. Two editions here. We're going to look at the trade. It fits better on the camera, as you can see. Not as much cutoff. A little bit easier, too. I don't feel so bad filleting the book like so. I also have the Deluxe hardcover here. I'm probably going to gift this to somebody after recording this, just because I don't need two copies of this. This has a lot more bonus material. We'll come back to this after we look at this, all right? So, Art for Inspiration. Let's check this out. And I'm going to let the artwork kind of speak for itself on this. It's a really fun book. It is actually a good read as well, but yeah, Jeff Johns is the author. Just really cool dynamics of everything in this book. The panel work, down to the facial expressions, down to the clothing. Just very, I don't know how to put it. Years ago, I was having a little bit of an art to art conversation with Arthur Soydum at a convention that I was next to him at. My booth was right next to his, and we were talking about just different things. And I think he's right. He said to me something that I wish I heard when I was a teenager, and it was that no matter what you illustrate or paint or whatever it is, to romanticize it, meaning even if you have a very stoic pose, a heroic pose, a beat down villain, whatever it is, even if the pose is just super static, there's no movement, you can do things to it to give it life. A lot of it is the folds of the clothing. Throw elements into the drawing to show it's windy, there's heat, there's cold, the direction that the breath might go from the nostril and the mouth shows that there's a draft pulling the oxygen that direction. Things like that. Just gives it some life. And this book's full of life. You could see everything has movement and motion to it. Yeah, this and outside of the Ghost Machine stuff for Frank, this is my favorite contained work by Gary Frank, I would say, for sure. It's definitely the only thing I have of his in multiple versions or copies. I know that I got some variants, I think, for the first issue, and then floppies, and then obviously I just showed you I got that deluxe hardcover and this one. And if you're interested in these, I've seen this thing as at conventions as low as $2, and it's like a $20 trade, 16 whatever. The deluxe hardcover, I'm not entirely sure. I think they've actually put out two editions of it. I don't have the other one, which is the first one. The one that I got is the more updated one. And the reason why I'm going to be showing that one for the bonus stuff at the end is because there's over 22 pages, like a full comic book worth of bonus sketches and design work and stuff. So this one here, it only has, I think, 2 or 3 covers and maybe some sketches. So it's not, yeah, it's not that great. Yeah, they definitely were using this for the film. So I don't know any of the process behind this. I don't know the story behind it, but yeah, they might have already had an idea of who was doing what, and then they, you know, this could very well be a movie adaptation. I don't know. So I was a little late to it, but glad I did drop some change on this. And then later on, the deluxe one that I got did not come out immediately the same time as this. So I think it came out like a year or two later. Maybe maybe a little bit after the second movie came out. Actually, it wasn't even the first film. It was like I know I got it after the second one was already hitting theaters. So yeah, I was talking right here. Look at everything's got motion. Everything's got motion. You know, romanticizing the line, right? Um, making the elements an element. Yeah. So this has really fun colors too. But yeah, this is just a really easy to consume book. The artwork's cool. The rendering is cool. It's just tight enough of pencils. It doesn't really need a whole lot of pizzazz added to it. Nice use of shadows. A lot of daily life stuff just drawn masterfully. And this kind of thing right here too. Um, if Dave Finch does this quite a bit with a lot of these heavy drop shadows and stuff on a character that's not necessarily uh, smothered in shadow, things like this. It works really well with the bright color palette. It's acceptable, right, to your eyes. Um, I'm not really sure if Gary Frank was inspired by working with, Finch. Like this feels like a Finch face almost, or like Yvonne Reese or whoever else. I'm not really sure, but definitely was it brightest day, darkest night kind of era. Definitely kind of formed sort of almost like a house style with a lot of the DC artists. Saw a huge change in Jim Lee's work around that time too. On hell, what was it? I think like the second run of the Justice League stuff, and then the Suicide Squad things as well. Those books. It's a really awesome piece right here. This would be really cool in black and white. This entire run of books would just be awesome in black and white. I love the rendering coming out of all these the spot blacks through here, the drop shadows. Again, just a lot of forward thinking in the lighting, the light sources, and how they affect the objects that they're bouncing off of. I think as an artist, sometimes we do that stuff on accident. We'll accidentally pull off something that we didn't intend to look a certain way. Some of these faces too, they feel almost like a linoleum, have a uh, Kevin Nolan. Yeah, it's like a Kevin Nolan feel to it. No, maybe some Nolan influence. What do you guys know that I don't know? Yeah, definitely. Maybe he was looking at some Nolan. I'm looking at some of these. Really, you know what it is? It's the bridge of the nose and how it wraps around all the way down to the divot. Yeah, it might be. Nolan, Chire, you, Opinia. Kevin Nolan is a great resource to pull from if you're going to pull from anybody, I think. Also, going to mention drawing youthful characters can be very difficult, and these are not overworked. Uh, uh, he fill he fills the age appropriate for the character here. I would say a few of the panels kind of feel a little aged up, maybe, but yeah, for the most part, I mean, it's just kind of really feels like a 15, 16-year old maybe. Yeah, and again, like I said, great expressions, not too cartoony, right? Just enough delivery to kind of keep that dark appeal. Yeah, so if you're not familiar with this and you are like collecting like some of that stuff, those runs like the was it Junkyard Joe Geiger, right? Uh, I recommend you get this stuff too. Like if you just like that feel of a comic, this definitely has that. The feel from this was carried over, into that for sure. He was able to retain that cadence all the way up until current books. So still producing it. It's a really great panel right there. Yeah, when I was I don't remember what grade I was in. I remember picking up this mini series that at the time I thought it had really, really awesome covers. And it was a Shazam miniseries, had Black Adam in it. Um, I just had like very vivid memories of like reading and rereading these books and trying a little bit of my part, like kids, you're going to try to redraw something you see from a book. And I remember redrawing some of the panels way back in the day, just trying it out. And I had gone back and looked at them, and they didn't really hold up that great. The covers are still okay, but man, those interiors they're pretty rough to look at. Some of the pages are okay, but definitely, yeah, definitely did not hold up for sure. That's awesome. I like these overlaid panels where you got like two pieces of art and you do a little bit of a transparency color hold to kind of show another entity or an energy effect over top of something. Uh, the magic of Adobe Photoshop at play. The tortoise and the hare. Yeah, another great expression panel right here. Not overworked. This is the only page in the entire book that is kind of weird to me. There's something off about these legs. Like if you get rid of this, it's, you know, maybe like a leg down and one back. There's something weird about this to me, and then that face kind of weirds me out a little bit too. But yeah, really for this entire run of books, that's the only thing that quite honestly stands out to me. This is badass. See, there you go, romanticizing the line right there. Could have very easily just draped it down, off page, drape down, off page, right? A little bit more bicep showing here, but didn't do that. Shows direction. Directionally would have been a lot of energy here pushing back towards the viewer, and that's why the cape is covering it. And also, the cape wrap goes away from the viewer because he got pushed back, right? So yeah, if you need to find interesting ways of shading capes, this is the book. This is the book to get. Nice use of the drop shadows here. In a weird way, it almost feels like New School Jay Lee to me, with the way the black is dropped on some of these shapes. But the nice thing is, unlike Jay Lee, there's purpose for it. It's there because there remains a fold, another fold, a deeper fold. You got all these divots in here with a little bit of light peeking through. That's just sick. That's just really good art. That's just really, really good art. So, and I know Jay sometimes will just kind of throw stuff in just for the sake of like adding shadows. Nice panel. Nice Santa Claus. That was a good Santa Claus. Yeah, I feel like he must have been looking at some Nolan. Some of the Kev. It's a fun splash right there. Yep. Just all nice things to say. All nice things to say about this. Many more nice things to say about this than Gary Frank's Incredible Hulk books. That's 110%. It's a pretty cool little panel here introducing some of the baddies. They all get their appropriate amount of canvas. Good job with the colorist here, doing a little bit of that screen work over top of the lines to give it the aesthetic of the glow. Not overworked. Doesn't look like a star sitting in front of a character or something. Sometimes colorists will do that. They'll over exaggerate the brightness of an effect that shouldn't be that bright. I know because I've done it. Super cinematic right here. That's sick. It's all coming off of got all this fire energy, or the fire glow bouncing off this metallic trim, I guess you would call it. There you go. You got your Shawshank Redemption right here. Think Billy gets his vitamin D. All right. Pretty dope splash. The hand is weird, but it's drawn so good. I don't mind. I'll let it pass. It's a fun panel right here. I've been doing that kind of shading effect on faces lately. I don't know what it is. Right here, a lot of this rim light with the dark shadow, dark shadow under the eye. It kind of brings more attention to the eyes and the teeth. I'm not sure if that's why I'm doing it. I think I'm doing it because I'm just looking at way too many books right now that are doing it. This is fun. How big he is. Huge. Huge. This is interesting. It's a great panel right there. Yep, you get the introduction of the rest of the family right here. A little bit of the fight. It's getting a little bit of the wrap up. I like this panel a lot. That'd work really well for a Superman panel too. Got the is that Mary Marvel, nice little page there. Fighting the demon. Gary Frank does a really good job drawing the animals as well. Nicely out. This right here screams Alan Davis to me for some reason. I think Alan does a thing where he will, before a punch, a lot of us will pull the elbow up like a baseball stance. And Alan likes to do this thing where he gives it the L and then will curl. I think that's what it is. It's the wrist curl, which nobody does this before they punch. Their hand is like this. But it's a fun way of not having to draw the hand going off the page, I guess, because I'm looking at the size here. Probably had to twist it. Took the bones and twisted it. But yeah, that's a very uncomfortable, unnatural pose. Looks good in comics, though. There's a lot of those poses we do that are just not, they don't really apply to real life. All right, so then we got some bonus stuff here. There's only a few pages, like I said. All right, let's take a peek at the Deluxe. And we'll scroll back here, take a peek. Where we at? All right. This book's much larger, by the way. This book is like a full inch. I'm going to go flush to the bottom right here, okay? So it's like a full inch larger on both sides. In print as well. So about 3/4 of an inch and then a full inch here to the actual paper, by the way. The paper runs almost to the edge. So it's not, sometimes it does have to be inset because it's a hardcover. But it's a full inch. And then, like I said, about 3/4 on this side. It runs all the way to the edge almost. So maybe a half, but a full inch on top for sure. So yeah, 11 by probably 7 1/4 or something like that. Yeah, size can be a little bit off, I guess. But all right, so I will try to center that for the camera. Let's see here. All right, so get to see this fight again. I wonder how the printing is. I never do this. I never. You know what? I mean, it's pretty spot on, to be quite honest. It's super close. A little bit more blue, like less than 10%. This has a little bit more of a blue hue than this right here, but it's pretty much a match. I'm gonna be honest, it's close enough. So just printing is on par. You're not missing anything. No over under, maybe a little bit on the blue, like I said. So you got a cover gallery. See, we got the cover gallery and a sketchbook. All right, so we got this is the trade cover here. You got a Von Reese cover here, Justice League Zero. This was this is the artist on the Hyde Street, right? Danny Mickey. So you got that. All right. You got character designs. And like I said, there's like 24, 22, 24 pages of this in here. This one, let me see how many sketch pages we got. This one here, it's going to be a little different. Maybe we should compare them. Okay, so this one here starts with this. This one starts with this, right? So, all right, so you got that. Shazam. Captain Marvel. All right. What's going on here? This goes straight to Black Adam, so let's keep going. So there's that. Sketches here. Are those the original sketches in this one? This has 3. Weird. This is none of those. Okay. Let's keep going. Maybe they have this entire piece in here. They have it here. Okay, so this one has a page. This is a full page. Gutter is the back shot. Here you get it in a smaller version. You get the inks and the colors. So not super important. All right. Black Adam is the next page. Remember that was the next one in here. Black Adam. This one here goes straight to Mary Marvel. So you might have to come back to that. Okay, so here's this character art here is here. I don't see the color one. Color one's in here. Yeah, this, like I said, the hardcover has a lot more stuff in it. So you get him, it's her. She's this little sketch here. They made her big there, and an alternate outfit. You don't get that in here, I don't think. Yeah, there's no alternate. You get the one in the trade plus an alternate for this book. I don't think he's even in here. Let me see. This might only be in the trade, so we're waiting to see that. Okay, so these are just in here. So again, hardcover has these are only in hard. I feel like we just looked at her. Yeah, so full page there. He is small here, but they have an alternate here. So you get additional sketches of him here. Additional alternate sketch of her here. Condensed, though, on the page, but, you know, whatever. Who cares? Okay, so you do get both sketches. Okay, so you get her and the Mary sketch in the beginning. So those were the ones missing. I think this is on par within here, too. Let's see. Yeah, so samesies. A little bit of level adjustments right there. That's pretty nice, actually, because this one here is a little bit light. So a little bit of level adjustment there. And then some covers. I don't think that stuff's in here. This one ends with this right here. Early Shazam design. I think this here is in the Shazam sketches up front. Pretty positive, actually. Let's see. One more back. Yes. So this full page design here is this here. The trade does not include these other Shazam sketches here, showing additional boot design and stuff, right? So yeah, everything in the trade is in here, maybe in a different scale, but it does exist. This is stuff not in the trade. Some different pinup pieces. Black Adam. Get some cover layouts. Got the Von Reese cover here. Layout pencil ink. Pencil rough ink for the trade. Right there. Right? And that's it. That's it. So yeah, they're book for book. They have pretty much everything. Yeah, I'd say this one. I would say this one. If you're only interested in the actual book, don't you don't really care about extras. Yeah, just get this. Like I said, I've seen this in the wild. No joke, $2, $3, and it's a trade. So too the yeah, 16.99 US. Um, this this trade here is basically a loaf of bread. It's a couple years past expiration. No one wants to buy that bread. You know what I'm saying? But what they don't know is this bread is made of gold, man. I'm telling you right now, like this has a lot of really good information in it for artists. Really awesome art, really awesome transitional panels here. Um, yeah, highly recommend. Highly recommend. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoy this, and that's why I wanted to share it. And because I'm not a huge, like I said, I'm not a humongous fan of Gary Frank, but he knocked this one out of the park, and is continuing to do so as well with the his other projects. But no, almost a distillery. What's going on with my brain? All right, guys, thanks. Don't forget subscribe, like the things, ding the things, and all that. All right, peace out.